Namaste Bitia. Myself JV Neha Saini from Physiotherapy and Diagnostics, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University. Here I am going to tell you about the palate. Palate lies in the roof of the oral cavity and has two parts, that is hard, which is bony. Palate, it lies anteriorly, and the soft palate, it is muscular and lies posteriorly. This is the hard palate. It lies the roof of the oral cavity. It forms the floor of the nasal cavity, and it is formed by two bones. That is, this is the palatine process of the maxilla, and these are the horizontal plates of the palatine bones behind. These are bounded by the alveolar arches on anterior as well as lateral sides. The hard palate continues with the soft palate on the posterior side. As we can see in the diagram, this is the soft palate on the posterior side. Its undersurface is covered with mucoperiosteum. This is mucoperiosteum, and it shows transverse ridges in the anterior parts. Hard palate is supplied by the greater palatine branch of the maxillary artery, and the vein is the pterygoid venous plexus. Then the nerves, these are the greater palatine and the nasopalatine branches of the pterygopalatine ganglion, and the lymphatic drainage is drains into the upper deep cervical lymph node and also into retropharyngeal lymph node. So in the diagram, we can see the hard palate with horizontal palatine rugae in the anterior part of the hard palate, and this is the mucoperiosteum, which is covering the osteum, that is the bony areas of the hard palate. Then the soft palate, it is a movable muscular fold which is suspended from the posterior border of the hard palate. Here we can see the soft palate. It separates the nasopharynx from oropharynx. It is a traffic controller. It has two surfaces, the anterior and the posterior. This is the anterior surface, and behind that we have the posterior surface. Two borders are there. This is the superior border and this is the inferior border. So here we can see the soft palate. This small overhung structure, this is the soft palate. The area above it, this is the nasopharynx and this is the oropharynx. So it is separating the two pharynx from each other. Here we can see the hard palate. Now the soft palate is attached to the posterior border of the hard palate, as we can see, and is covered on its upper and the lower surfaces by mucous membrane. It is composed of muscle fibers, aponeurosis, lymphoid tissue, glands, blood vessels, and nerves. So here is the soft palate. In the midline, we have this palatine aponeurosis attached on the posterior border of the hard palate. So this is the soft palate muscles. So soft palate is muscular organ and it is made up of muscles. What are these? These are tensor villi palatine, levator villi palatine, salpingopharyngeus, palatopharyngeus, and palatoglossus muscle. These muscles are forming the soft palate. Now we discuss about them one by one. First, we discuss about the palatine aponeurosis. It is a fibrous sheet which is attached to the posterior border of the hard palate, as we have seen in the previous image. It is extended tendon of tensor villi palatine muscle and forms the fibrous basis of the palate. So this is the palatine aponeurosis. This is green colored area. This is the palatine aponeurosis. It splits to enclose the musculus uvuli. The musculus uvuli is the small muscle which is lying in the midline of the soft palate, and this palatine aponeurosis is splitting to enclose this muscle, and it gives origin and insertion to the palatine muscles. So first muscle is the tensor villi palatine. It is arising from the spine of sphenoid and the scaphoid fossa and the auditory tube. In the diagram, we can see the tensor villi palatine muscle, the lateral most muscle. This is the tensor villi palatine, and it is inserting in the palatine aponeurosis in the midline. This is the palatine aponeurosis in the midline. Then also on the posterior border of the hard palate, and the action of this muscle, as the name indicate, it tenses the soft palate and opens the auditory tube. So here we can see the tensor villi palatine muscle on the auditory tube from where it is attached. Then the next muscle is levator villi palatine. It arises from the petrous part of the temporal bone and the auditory tube. So the levator villi palatine lies on the medial aspect of this tensor villi palatine. This is the levator villi palatine, and is again inserting on the palatine aponeurosis. Then, as the name indicates, the action of this muscle is raising the soft palate, also dilates the auditory tube. Then the next muscle is musculus uvuli. It arises from the posterior nasal spine. So this is the musculus uvuli in the midline. It arises from the posterior nasal spine and the palatine aponeurosis and is inserted on the mucosa of the uvula. The action of this muscle is elevation of the uvula. The rest of the muscles of the soft palate are palatopharyngeus. There are two fasciculi of this palatopharyngeus muscle. This is highlighted in this diagram. And the origin is from anterior fasciculus, that is posterior border of the hard palate. And posterior fasciculus, this is inserting on the palatine aponeurosis. Insertion of this muscle is on the posterior border of the thyroid cartilage, and the action of this muscle is elevation of the wall of the pharynx. Then the next muscle is palatopharyngeus. In this diagram, we can easily see the palatopharyngeus muscle. It arises from the palatine aponeurosis and is inserted on the side of the tongue. The action of this muscle is pulls the root of the tongue upward and narrowing the oropharyngeal isthmus. Oropharyngeal isthmus means the opening of the oropharyngeal cavity, that is this cavity. Then the blood supply of the palate. It is by the branches of maxillary artery, facial artery, and external carotid artery, and the veins corresponds the arteries, and they drain into pterygoid and tonsillar venous plexus. The lymphatics drain into upper deep cervical and retropharyngeal group of lymph nodes. Then the nerve supply. The diurnal sensory nerves is by the maxillary nerve, and the spatial sensory nerve is by the gustatory nerves, that is the taste sensations from the oral surface, and the secretomotor fibers are arising from the lesser palatine nerves derived from superior salivatory nucleus, travel through the greater petrosal nerve branches of the facial nerve. Then the motor nerve supply of these muscles are all the muscles of palate are supplied by the pharyngeal venous plexus, except the tensor villi palatine. Tensor villi palatine is supplied by the mandibular branch of the trigeminal nerve. It is a very important relation. All the muscles are supplied by the pharyngeal plexus, except the tensor villi palatine, which is supplied by the mandibular division of the trigeminal nerve. Trigeminal nerve is the fifth cranial nerve. Then the movements and the functions of the soft palate includes it isolates the mouth from oropharynx during chewing. As we can see in the diagram, the area above the soft palate is the oropharynx. When we chew anything, so it closes the oropharynx. It also separates the oropharynx above and the nasopharynx below. Then the clinical anatomy regarding this is the cleft palate. Cleft palate is the ununited processes which are forming the soft palate. So it can be unilateral, that is on the one side. It can be bilateral, that is present on both the sides. It can be median, that is in the midline. So there is this cleft in the soft palate. There may be the chances for cleft in soft as well as hard palate. So it is an embryological applied, that is present at the time of birth. The two palatine processes are fails to fuse with each other in the midline, and this is causing a cleft palate. This is again the cleft palate along with the cleft lip. So the maxillary processes at the time of embryonic development, they fails to fuse with each other, and it will result into cleft palate as well as cleft lip. Then second is the paralysis of the soft palate. In the paralysis of the soft palate, the pharyngeal isthmus cannot be closed during swallowing and speech. There is nasal regurgitation, nasal twang, exaggerated nasality in the speech, flattening of the palatoglossal arch. So this is the paralysis indication for the paralysis of the soft palate. And in the paralysis of the soft palate deviates to the opposite side. Then the next applied is the perforation of the hard palate. So in this diagram we can see the hard palate is perforated. There is a pore formation in this hard palate, and it is observed in the tertiary syphilis. Then the questions related regarding this topic are: write short note on muscles of soft palate. So in this question you have to discuss about the attachments, nerve supply and action of the muscles of the soft palate. Then the second applied is the cleft palate. In this you have to discuss about the embryological basis for the development of the cleft palate, how the processes appears and then they fuse, unable to fuse with each other and forms result into the cleft palate as well as the cleft lip. Then this is the exercise for you. You have to draw both these diagrams in your files and label them accordingly. You have to use brown color for the muscles and there is no color for the bony part. So this is the complete representation of the soft palate. Thank you.